Why does one specific training ground in Barcelona produce Lionel Messi, Xavi, Andres Iniesta, and now Pedri, Lamine Yamal, while huge clubs with billion-dollar budgets struggle to produce even one long-term star? It's not luck, it's not coincidence, and it's definitely not about having the best facilities. It's a formula, and once you understand it, you'll never look at football academies the same way again. Because the world's best academies don't rely on talent alone. They rely on systems, habits, and environments that quietly shape players over years, not months. Today, we're stepping inside football's most successful development labs. La Masia in Barcelona, the documentaries at Ajax, and Benfica's production line in Portugal, not to admire them, but to break them down. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 5 pillars that separate academies that produce stars from those that only produce promises. And once you see it, you'll realize greatness is rarely discovered. It's engineered. The first pillar is something most clubs misunderstand completely: identity. The best academies don't just teach football. They teach a specific way of playing football, a non-negotiable identity, repeated, reinforced, and lived every single day. At La Masia, kids don't just train to win matches. They train to understand space, movement, and control. From as young as 8 years old, players are introduced to rondos, small circles, constant pressure, quick decisions. Lose the ball, and you feel it immediately. The formation doesn't change every season. The principles don't change when a new coach arrives. The message stays the same year after year, age group after age group. So when a player finally reaches Barcelona's first team, they don't need to adapt. They already belong. Ajax operates the same way, just with a different language. At the documentaries, total football isn't a theory. It's a daily expectation. Defenders are taught to pass like midfielders. Midfielders are taught to rotate positions. Even goalkeepers are expected to build play under pressure. The idea is simple. If you understand the game deeply, you can play anywhere within it. Now compare this with struggling academies, where coaches change every year. Formations shift constantly, and players are forced to relearn football again and again. Confusion replaces confidence, and development slows down quietly, long before anyone notices. Identity isn't a style choice. It's a developmental shortcut. Live in it long enough, and it becomes instinct. The second pillar separates elite academies from average ones even earlier: scouting. But not the kind most people imagine. Average academies scout the body. They look for height, strength, speed. The biggest 12-year-old on the pitch. This creates what's known as the early bloomer trap. The child who grows first dominates youth football, but stops improving once everyone else catches up. Elite academies scout something harder to see: the brain. They look for players who see the game quicker than others, who make good decisions under pressure, who control the ball naturally, even when rushed. This is why players like Pedri or Bernardo Silva might have been overlooked elsewhere. Too small, too light, not physical enough. But in Spain and Portugal, those same qualities were seen as advantages. Because intelligence scales, physical dominance doesn't. Elite scouts ask different questions. Does the player scan before receiving? Can they solve problems on the pitch? Do they adapt or panic? You can build strength later. You can't easily teach instinct. And once you understand this, you start to see why some countries consistently produce technical players, while others keep wondering where the talent went. The third pillar is the one most academies quietly fail at: the pathway. Because an academy is useless if the door to the first team is locked. Benfica and Sporting CP understand this better than almost anyone. Their entire business model depends on developing and selling players, which means youngsters aren't just trained, they're trusted. Teenagers debut in real matches, not friendlies, not dead rubbers, but competitive football. Mistakes are accepted because development requires exposure. Now compare this to many rich clubs, especially in the Premier League, when results matter immediately and money is unlimited. It's easier to buy experience than develop it. So academy players wait, and wait, and wait, until confidence fades, or opportunity disappears. Players develop faster when hope is real, when they can see the next step, not just imagine it. Belief accelerates learning, and without a pathway, even the best academy becomes a holding room. The fourth pillar is one you can actually measure: touches. The best academies maximize contact with the ball, not by standing in lines, not by repeating isolated drills, but by playing small-sided games, tight spaces, constant involvement. In many elite environments, a player might touch the ball hundreds of times in a single session. Compare that to rigid training, where players wait, watch, and repeat patterns with no pressure. This is why futsal matters so much in Brazil and Portugal. Smaller courts, heavier balls, less space. More decisions, faster reactions. Technique is sharpened under stress, not in comfort. When players grow up in chaos, match day feels slower, and this is where confidence quietly forms. But even with philosophy, intelligence, opportunity, and touches, there's still one pillar that decides everything: the human side. The best academies don't just develop players, they develop people. Education matters, psychology matters, character matters. At Manchester United's academy during the class of '92 era, young players cleaned boots, cleaned changing rooms, and learned humility early, not because it made them better footballers, but because it kept them grounded. Talent without discipline always collapses eventually. Ravel Morrison is often mentioned not as a warning, but as a reminder. Ability alone is fragile. Elite academies invest in mindset, emotional control, responsibility. They understand that pressure doesn't destroy players. Unprepared minds do. When players are supported as humans, football becomes sustainable. So when people ask why some academies produce more stars than others, the answer isn't money. It's not facilities. It's not luck. It's philosophy, patience, opportunity, repetition, and care. Stars are not accidents. They are the final product of environments that understand time and respect development. And the most important lesson of all, great academies don't chase success. They build it quietly, long before the world starts watching. So now I want to hear from you. Which academy do you think has the strongest future right now? And why? Let me know in the comments.